VMS platform. So initially, as you can see, it's a cloud-based login. So basically we just come into the main website and navigate through to the portal, and then this is where we can log into your account. So initially, if you haven't already, you can sign up here, and this will create a TP-ID account for you, and that is what you use to log in and access your sites once you've put them in there. So as soon as we log in, it will then take us straight into organizations. So you can create different organizations in here. So you can create them here and manage them through this section, but it will give you the option to navigate to each of those sites. So if we log into this one, it will take us straight into our system, and straight at the top here, we've got a few bits of information across the top. So how many sites, how many cameras, if there's any devices offline as well, it will indicate that there, and recorders, and how many of our solar panel solutions are connected to the system here as well. As you can see, it will navigate straight through to the location of the site. We can also incorporate latest AI events or triggers here on the right hand side, and we can add an alarm trend as well. So this can give us vital information. If it's a site where you've got analytics set up, this will give us a good indication of how many triggers have been detected and set off. So again, if there's various things happening out of hours or over the weekend, then we can access those and sort of see if there's anything that needs adjusting or any unwanted activity. So these were the main AI triggers that happened on the system. So I've got various bits of activity. So I've got motion detection, I've got an intrusion detection by a human here, but equally down here I've got a vehicle detected as well. So all of the analytics that I've got set up will filter through, but I can change those as well. So if there was something specific that I was looking for, I could go to line crossing and it will provide me with the results of that as well. So you can then select your different cameras down here and your date and time that you wish to search back through to as well. So again, you've got that all that option there. And on the events as well, I'll come into this in a bit later, but again, this will give us the sort of latest events that have been triggered from this site. So straight into the video, so we've got various cameras connected. So we do adopt third-party cameras into the system, so via OnViv, so they can be added into the recorder and then accessed through here as well. So you can go straight into the live view of the cameras, and then we can bring up multiple feeds as well at the same time. And if we want to sort of navigate back to playback, we can then just click up here. So yeah, so this is the live view. So as you can see, we've got the cameras up here. And if I wanted to go into the playback option, I click on playback. I've got my option here to select my days. So any day that's got a green marker, they'll be recording. And then equally, I can change the time here to suit what I'm looking for. So once I've done that, it will then come up with that time bar, and then on the right hand side, if there has been any events or triggers, you can navigate through those there as well. You've also got the filter option at the top to kind of filter those as well. So again, lots of options there. On the side here, I could set up some custom alerts as well, so really easy to do. So just go to plus. I want to set up, let's just say, camera tampering, then select my devices, so I can go all devices or just by site or by device. So if I wanted to just do it per camera, I could do it that way, but I want it for every single camera on the system. And this is where I can then add additional users. So if they wanted a notification of that event, I could put that in here, Also, if I wanted it to push to the VIGI app, I could tick this box, but equally, if there were other people that had access to the system and I wanted them to get notification of that as well, I could then do that at this stage, add them in and place them in there. I've also got the option to set up notification schedule. So again, you might want notifications during working hours, for instance, and maybe not at the weekend. So you can adjust these accordingly to kind of set up how you want those notifications to come through. And then just here, so if I just set up a name, that's it there. Yeah. So that's all set up, and then that will come under my custom alerts there as well. So I can sort of filter through those events for the future. So if I just navigate through to the devices, so again, this gives us a really nice level of integration into the camera or to the recorder. So for instance, if I navigate to the NVR, but just before I do that, obviously it gives you an indication if those devices are online or if they're offline, the model number and the local IP address, again, which is quite useful if you need it for remote diagnostics and various things like that. But if I just go to edit this device, so it was now taking me straight into the sort of interface of the NVR, where I can access all of the information that you would expect to see locally. So I've got system information, I can go into my cameras, see how many cameras are added, or I could modify them through here as well. The display settings, so if I wanted to add privacy zones or on-screen display, I can change all of that through here as well. So don't need site or anything like that anymore. It gives me full sort of capability of being able to do that remotely. As long as it's connected to the VMS platform, I can access all of this information as well. Stream settings, again, if they ever need to be changed at any time, you can do that through here. So you've got the audio, region of interest as well, and some advanced settings. And then we've also incorporated a cloud storage backup facility, so you can then add various bits of footage or video to the cloud account, which will be licensed, so there will be packages available to purchase. But ultimately, if there is a site and they need redundancy or backup to the cloud for some of those events, you can then set this up through here. So you've got all of the options in the recorder to configure that cloud backup configuration, and you can schedule it to upload to the cloud at a particular time of the day. So again, if it's a busy site and you don't want it to interfere with the main broadband connection, you can do that out of hours if you wish to, and then I can configure the channels which I would like backed up to the cloud as well. So at the moment I've got just a few cameras set up to do that, and as you can see, I could add third-party cameras into this and provide cloud backup straight away as well. So again, really nice option, and you just bind the camera to the account and then it will start to back that up to the cloud. If for any reason, after a period of time that camera isn't required to be backed up anymore, you can unbind them and then use the same license key to bind that back to a different camera on the recorder. So again, it offers lots of flexibility in terms of being able to adapt to customer requirements or site requirements. So you've got that option in there anyway to kind of do that. And then if I just navigate back to the events down here, so we've got standard motion detection, camera tampering. So as you previously saw, I set up the event for that. So I could set up my tampering option and how I want the camera to respond or to the system to respond in that event. So I could set up a buzzer, I could do record linking, and audio alarm and white light alarm. So on some of the camera ranges that we have, so the Insight range, they have built-in speakers and lights, so you can trigger those, or an active deterrent feature if in the event that this camera is tampered, or equally if there's a tripwire or intrusion zone configured, we could do the same setup. So we can do all that through here as well. But we've got the smart event options as well. So these are all of the AI analytics that are built into the camera. So as you can see, we've got line intrusion detection, region entering detection, so on and so on. But you can adjust and set these up accordingly as you wish. Or again, if it's a site where there's activity and the customer's basically saying, okay, we now need to maneuver the analytics, you can then do that all through here as well. So again, preventing a visit to site, just to kind of do that, kind of adjustment. And then at the bottom here, I've got the option to adjust the sensitivity, any filtering that I might want to do, so whether it's human or vehicle. And then I can do a schedule, an arming schedule as well. So that will automatically come on or turn off at various times of the day. And then at the bottom, I've got my triggered actions as well. So again, you can sort of trigger the white light and audio alarm through there. So really, really easy to kind of set up. So again, you've got the option to kind of turn them on and off. So if it is a site where they might not want it any longer, you can then just toggle those off from here as well. So once you kind of apply that, but if I just then go to the camera, for instance, I could go into that, and again, I've got all of the bits of information that you'd likely see if you were locally connected. So you've got your display settings, stream settings, your event settings, again, just as I showed you, and then you've got the option down here to upgrade the camera firmware, reboot the device if you wish to, and then you've got the recording schedule as well that you can do. So if the camera does have like an SD card in it locally, you could sort of configure that to work through there as well. So we've added some new features recently with the application level. So we've got the AI search capabilities now. So where we've got the human detection, again, we can then navigate through to our calendar. So if we change the time of date, we can then change the cameras that we're looking at or analyzing, and then we can start to use these different attributes. So male, gender, female, hair type, top type as well. But ultimately, you've got the option here to navigate through to the color of clothing as well. So if I just change that to blue, so every time it's detected somebody wearing a blue top, it will display that, and I can play those events through here as well. Equally, for vehicles, I can do exactly the same search. So if it's a vehicle type, vehicle color, I can navigate through those or select the ones that I'm looking for, and the system will display, every time it's seen that particular vehicle that you're looking for. So really nice and easy for customers or for people to navigate through to those events without having to, sit there for hours and hours trying to find a certain person wearing a certain color or a vehicle for that matter. We've also incorporated a instant snapshot feature or auto snapshot. So this can be used in various different applications. So whether it's in retail, construction sites use this quite a lot, where at certain times of the day the camera will take a still image or snapshot, and then after a period of time they can be all collected together to create like a time-lapse video. But in other scenarios, so like retail, for instance, if it's an entrance or a till area for where someone there needs to be staff in those areas at any one time, so they can't be unmanned, the auto snapshot feature can take an image, and it will also analyze if there's any people within that scene as well. So even if it's like I say, at a swimming pool, for instance, maybe where for safety or any area that needs that kind of coverage, this can be kind of configured to set up those snapshots again, and then analysed whether there's people in that scene. So really nice option to kind of have through the platform. We've also got people counting as well. So Once the devices are available, we'll be able to add those into here, set those up so we can then start getting flow control in and out of different areas, so like schools, colleges. For retail, again, use this quite a lot, but anywhere we need to kind of analyze the flow of people in and out of buildings, then that will provide that for you. We've also got the device map option. So this is really nice that you can incorporate like a Google Earth image of a site, and then you can then start overlaying your cameras. So these are cameras that are physically connected to the site. So if I clicked on those, it'll bring up the camera feeds, but it will also give you the area of coverage as well, where that camera is likely to see in that scene as well. So it's quite easy to kind of navigate through the different cameras, especially if you've got quite a lot on a system. So we'll go into the design tool. So this is a nice feature again that you can just add a Google Earth image, so it will use any of these different formats. So again, you can sort of snip out the area that you're interested in, and then once you've brought that image in, it will ask you to set a rule. So if there's a building or somewhere that you know the length of, you can set the rule against that, so you know once the cameras are placed, it has a true scale to the kind of site that you're looking at. So for instance, if I select this camera, I can obviously move it about, click on it and drag it and drop, but also I've got the option to expand this as well. So as you can see, as I navigate through the field of view, the dory distances change, and then I can sort of see what areas are being covered, but I can also select or deselect these areas down here, and as you can see, it will add them in or take them away. So it's really nice to kind of see where your analytics is going to work, or where the coverage is going to provide for that customer. And equally, if I change any of these other parameters like the installation height, as you can see, the field of view changes accordingly. So it's really nice to give you that kind of level of accuracy from that camera. I've also got the option here to select the blind spot image. So again, if I move the target distance, for instance, this will adjust as well. So it'll give me a really good kind of indication of how that would look. I've also got the 3D view option as well. So if I can navigate through here, this is the field of view that the camera will provide. So as you can see, the person in the distance, that's the kind of span that you would expect to see from the camera itself. You can color coordinate all of these anyway as well. So if it's you've got different types of cameras for different reasons, you can change the color of those. So again, when this is proposed to the customer or put into a proposal, it's easy to quite identify what their job is. We've got lots of options up here to add additional walls, some notes as well, so you can add a label or add a link. So anything that might be useful later on, you can sort of do that. But the main sort of reason for all this is you've got the option to export this as well. So I can export the file once that's downloaded. Just takes a couple of seconds. There we go. So it will give me two files. So initially it will give me the Excel file. So if I just load that up. So give me a full kit list. So basically what we proposed, the recorder, the cameras, all of their specification as well to go with that. So that could be sent straight to the distributor. Or I've got a full system layout proposal here. So again, you can get lots of information from this. You've got obviously the site plan, camera locations there, and then a full kit list again of kind of where they're going to be mounted, what heights they're going to be used at, and then at the bottom we've got the coverage as well. So again, it gives you a real nice kind of overview of the system layout, what's been proposed, camera locations, various things like that as well. So if they're ever needed for future use or for engineering, then it's a really good tool to kind of have built in there. And then we've got the option to kind of have different sites as well. So you've got the option to incorporate different areas and things like that as well to kind of give you that kind of coverage. So you've got lots of options to kind of do that within the design tool. So this will give you a full overview or dashboard, I suppose, of how that would look, how it's functioning, are they due to expire at any point, and at the bottom we've got what different packages are in use. So as I mentioned, we've got the product keys and things like that there, and then if there's any others that you've purchased that you've not activated yet, will be in this section. So again, these are ones that you could apply to new customer sites or to anything where they require that kind of backup service. So they're also in here. So again, this will give you a more of a breakdown of kind of how that looks. So you've got all of those in there as well, and then everything is logged as well. So if the cameras are bound or unbound or expired to that package, everything could be in this section. So you can then look at those, go to the details, and it will give you a full sort of rundown of kind of how that would look as well. And then into the administration side, so this is kind of just more how you would manage the platform yourselves. Again, whether you wanted customers to have access into here or multiple people within the business, this is where you would add additional users. So you can do that via here and add managers if you wanted to. So as long as they've got a TPID account, as I said at the beginning, you can add them via this section, and it will give you kind of all that information there. And then if we go to users, so I've already created a separate user here, and as you progress or add additional people in, you would have access to change the rights that they have to operate the system, as it were. So because I've only just got the main site, I've got different options here. So we've got full main admin view, so basically full control of the system, viewer only, so where they can watch live views and playback, live view only, which obviously is what it is, being able to watch live view, no playback options, and then no access. So again, there's a few different options, and then at a later stage there will be an update so we can customize these roles as well, so you could narrow it down to certain cameras and certain features within the platform as well. So we've got that to be added in. This is the main account setup, so where I've got my main details here. So if I wanted to change my password, I could do that via this section, or equally if it's required for the two-factor authentication, so for increased security, I could add that in here as well. So it will add a more of a security feature into logging in to the platform as well. So we've got the system log, so everything that happens on the system will be in here. So from the main admin account, obviously you can go through those pages, or you can search for something specifically, and if you wanted to, that can all be exported up here on the right hand side as well. So if it's needed for later on, you can certainly access that information. And then finally, under the system settings, this is the unique ID. We can customize the logo. So this logo on the top left here, we can customize. So if you enable that, we can upload an image, and we can also embed a URL into that image as well. So if it's your own company logo, for instance, and you might want to put your own website in there or a help page. So if end users or customers are using it, then they could click on the link of the company logo and then be navigated through to like a help page or a contact page or something like that. So again, nice to kind of have the ability to do that. And then a bit about the history data retention, so you can adjust these, how long the log and the event data is retained within the platform. And then we've got the alarm images as well, so the device will attach an alarm thumbnail when it uploads to the VMS. So in the events section, as I showed you, we've got the thumbnail search up there as well to navigate back to. And then just a couple of other bits in the top right. So if it's a site where they are used to using a client, then we've got a VMS VIGI client that you can download via here as well. So again, it doesn't all have to be on the cloud based, but certainly it's a lot more easier to kind of deploy if you're using the web browser, but we've got the client version as well. And then under here in the settings, you can obviously change the language and the theme or the color of the platform as well, so it can be adjusted according to your own preferences. And then under the account, so this is the account settings for myself, and then the services are where the cloud management options are. So this is kind of where all of the packages and everything are assigned to your account via this section. So that's it really. Any questions, then please let us know.